Recently, a man named Carlos Maza, who works at Vox and goes by the Twitter handle Gay Wonk, made a montage showcasing all the times conservative funny man Steven Crowder, AKA the guy who would just essentially take his camera and start trying to own the libs in public. He made a montage of all the times Steven Crowder used gay, anti-gay motivated slurs against him. Here's a look at that.
Before we get to the video, with our favorite lispy sprite from Vox. It's ridiculous. It's bonkers. You're being given a free pass as a crappy writer because you're gay.
That center line on his little queer graph there. What is
well,
that
now
line?
the graph is queer?
Violence, filth.
Okay, so the little queer could eat his chips all nonchalantly. It's code for rape, Mr. Queer eating chips on the Vox channel. Chip, 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 but you can eat just one, like dicks. This is what Mr. Gay Vox wants to do. Mr. Lispy Queer from Vox. What were you holding, Gay Latino from Vox? Even his hand movement in fast motion is gay. Now we're here with the short-haired angry lesbian on Skype. And cable news bitching. Two gay guys sitting there eating a banana. We get the symbolism there. The truth is hiding in a closet 2 weeks later, probably along to his next Pride Parade outfit. This guy on the gay semi-Latino Vox. Oh, okay, so you really are just an angry little queer. All right, I can't deal with this Sprite anymore. Okay, he just sachets across without, the gay Vox Sprite is wrong. Now he could be a tranny, Your Honor. Never know. How many lispy, angry Sprites and Vox sachet across your screen and try and tell you otherwise. Or you, by the way, the gay Mexican guy, the gay Latino V-neck. Gay Mexican. Or Mexican gay guy used to work. Mexican gay Latino there at Vox. Oh, gay Latino from Vox. The token Vox gay atheist Sprite with surprisingly flaccid chest considering how thin he is. It's very bizarre to me. Ad hominem, yes, but it was an addendum to fact.
Cool. You seem neat. So here's what Carlos Maza wrote on Twitter along with that video. He said, since I started working at Vox, Steven Crowder has been making video after video, quote, debunking strike through, which is his show. Every single video has included repeated overt attacks on my sexual orientation and ethnicity. And then that was the sample that you just saw. He says, I've been called an anchor baby, a lispy queer, a Mexican, etc. These videos get millions of views on YouTube. Every time one gets posted, I wake up to a wall of homophobic / racist abuse on Instagram and Twitter. That being said, I'm not mad at Crowder. There will always be monsters in the world. I'm effing pissed at YouTube, which claims to support its LGBT creators and has explicit policies against harassment and bullying. This has been going on for years, and I've tried to flag this stuff on several occasions, but YouTube is never going to actually enforce its policies because Crowder has 3 million YouTube subscribers, and enforcing their rules would get them accused on anti-conservative bias, which is absolutely true, and that is the card that they play all the time. Now we're gonna skip to graphic 34 here, where YouTube actually responded. And they said on Twitter publicly, thanks so much for outlining all of this. We're looking into it further, sending a DM now. So essentially, it seems like they're looking into it. Here is the response from Crowder, who's trying to play the victim so desperately, and he's so afraid and that it's taking all of the fluid out of his mouth. Take a look.
Make no mistake, this isn't about me versus some guy at Vox, okay? This is an example of a giant corporate media entity trying to silence voices that they don't like. So I'm really hoping that YouTube doesn't capitulate to a multi-$100 million corporation who've had a long history of advocating corporate censorship. You can go watch it for yourself. And I want to be really clear here, this is not really an example of hate speech or even just offensive speech versus a self-proclaimed queer creator. This is an example of a giant multinational media conglomeration in NBC attempting to squash a competitor, attempting to squash a much smaller, truly independent, completely independently funded creator. This is David versus Goliath.
Oh God.
Right, like come, oh my God.
He's so pathetic. Okay, I can't stand Steven Crowder for a number of reasons. Like he's attacked us, he's attacked me specifically, and I don't care, right? Like, he's a one-trick pony. He's just like Dave Rubin, right? Everything in his career relies on him playing the victim over being censored. So he'll go out of his way to provoke people, or he'll go out of his way to defame or smear people. He'll go out of his way to direct his viewers toward the people that he's targeting. And then if he gets a little bit of backlash, he'll start crying, oh my God, I'm being censored. This isn't about me, but I'm being censored. You're such a little crybaby, okay?
Good save.
And so, but But also there is an issue here because all of these all of these platforms need to be extremely clear in what their policies are, and then they have to apply those policies consistently. And so when you see that it's not applied consistently, people who do get attacked get angry when there aren't consequences toward those who are attacking them. And then there are some who actually do face consequences, and then they take part in the oppression Olympics, as Dave Rubin likes to call it, right? But Dave Rubin, of course, calls it when it comes to people of color who actually are being disenfranchised. Anyway, I feel bad for what Maza is going through because I know what it's like, but at the same time, unfortunately, the best way to deal with it is to, you have to ignore him because he's obviously creepily obsessed with you. I get it, but I would poke fun at how creepily obsessed he is, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think this guy's got to get. I think he did the right thing though by calling it out because, unfortunately, not every murderer gets caught. Do you know what I mean? But we still like it when the ones who do murder go to prison. Like, do you know what I mean? And so I get like it's never going to be perfect, but this is very clearly against all rules of the world. Like he needs to go where Alex Jones had to go.
I hear you. I hear you. I totally like the thing with Alex Jones was he was so vicious toward parents who lost their kids in the Sandy Hook shooting that like the Posner family, for instance, had to move 7 different times because Alex Jones's viewers were threatening their lives and harassing them. People actually went to prison as a result of that.
Right.
In this case, he's disgusting, he's terrible. I hate everything he's saying. I don't know the right answer to it. What I do know is that Crowder is a failure at everything. He's not funny. He tries to be, and he's not, right?
That was sad. Like he's a sad person.
He is in love. I think he is romantically in love with Carlos Maza.
He's definitely trying to get his
he's
attention.
sexually attracted.
I think so too.
That is like, dude, I was in a frat. Like you know that the loudest homophobes in the world just wanted followed through. They're like, I hate you so much, kiss me. Like that's the kind of guy that I get from this dude. That's what I get.
I just can't imagine being this obsessed with anyone, and he's so obsessed with a Vox, employee. And I'm not trying to diminish anything that Maza does. And it sucks to be a public figure and get this type of hatred directed at you. But the one final thing that I will say to just kind of solidify my point about Crowder being a loser. Please watch his debate with Joe Rogan on the issue of marijuana legalization. He's not smart, he's not funny, he's not talented, he's a one-trick pony. Oh, I'm being oppressed because I'm not allowed to attack people on these platforms. You're pathetic, you're a loser, and people should laugh at you, which is what I do.
And the David Goliath thing, like,
that was ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Go.
You're attacking one human being over and over and over and over again. And what I do think of is like, we don't know where Carlos, is mentally. Like I worry about like the outcome of somebody doing that to you every single day if you maybe don't have the tools. I just don't like that there's an environment like that and that when it's brought to the platform's attention, I just don't want YouTube kind of sitting back.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just, like we could be talking about something really bad a week from now, you know what I mean?
No, I totally get what you're saying. And I like that you brought up the mental health component of it because quite honestly, I didn't think of that. But one thing that I will say is, over the weekend, I got some very threatening messages from an Armenian guy, whatever, who's convinced that it's bad that I work for a Turk. And I don't usually report things, but I reported it.
Yeah.
And I got a response, they sent it to me on Instagram. I got a response from Instagram saying, hey, we just wanna let you know we reviewed the messages that he sent you and they don't break our community guidelines.
Which is so frustrating because some of these messages not only need to be reported to Twitter and YouTube, some of these messages need to be reported to the police.
Yeah.
Like they're not, some of these messages are terrifying.
Yeah, definitely.
And that happens so often.
Yeah, and I when I do report, it's because of specific threats, right? I mean, I get made fun of all the time by right wingers. I don't care, but I've dealt with this for so long that I think I have thick enough skin to deal with it. Whereas you're right, there are some people who might not have the same reaction, and it should be taken seriously.
Yeah.
On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.